Hey, hello, and welcome back to the top class international league playoffs. Today we have Acliv against Villain.R, and oh my goodness, as we're seeing, this is one of the one of well, so many of the matches just happening there, but at this point I've commented like a couple of these. I'm Shoal, and today we're joined by Ascension's very own Hiku.
Hello. Uh, I'm really happy to be able to commentate this match, even though my English is not perfect, but I'll try my best.
Don't worry, you'll do fine. You'll do fine, man. As one of the players that's even like qualified to to as one of the players that's even qualified to even get into this bracket in the first place. I'm sure like your insight will be like absolutely like very much appreciated here. Hope everybody's doing this fine evening, and the match that we have today was actually going to be one that I'm very much looking forward to. We have Acliv, who is considered to be one of the who well was considered to be one of the best players internationally for the longest time in Puyu's international history. But recently we've seen like some extremely good showings coming in from Villain.R, taking a bunch of international tournaments, and often being the best ranking international player in those events. So Villain.R is a super strong player, but uh, as we've seen in this event so far, Acliv is undefeated so far in this tournament. Acliv is so far undefeated in this tournament, even taking the set off of Yoshi, who previously hasn't even lost a single game. So today we kind of have like two very extremely good, consistent powerhouses for their ability to just play Puyo. Two players that I know are like extremely consistent in both of what they do. Harassment is their main chain. How stable they are. How well they are to convert everything. Like these two players are just scary with just essentially how consistent they are, and I am very much looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, same. Actually, like I feel like they both have kinds of similar gameplay. Like they build their first floor, and then on the second floor they really go into neutral game with four chains and stuff like that. So I think we will have very interesting neutral battle in particular. So yeah, I think we can start the match.
Yep. As soon as we'll get into it, but these players are like two extremely solid, extremely consistent in what they do, and we're gonna just get right into it. Both of these players I'm fairly familiar. They do love to go for their own GTR stack. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Already, Acliv is going to go for harassment. First off, it does hit, nullifying just a little bit of space from Villain's end, but neither player is making like a full commitment there. Acliv just steadily deconstructing their chain, and that does hit Villain. Villain doesn't really have much to respond with, and Acliv takes game one. Remember that every match in this league is a first to 30, so we'll just see how much this goes. 1 point lead doesn't really mean all that much in that circumstance, but getting a point advantage will be appreciated nonetheless.
Yeah, the matchup feels like it could go 30 to 29. So uh, maybe each point will have its importance.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Small harassment from Villain. Meanwhile, Acliv just responding with a massive 5 chain. Villain chain is gonna cut into a 7, but that actually is gonna prove advantageous as it catches Acliv off guard and Villain snacks point running back.
Yeah, I don't know if Acliv didn't see it or if he has a reason to not send his chain, but
Nah, it seems like I feel like the it just cut unexpectedly. And unfortunately, like it does like happen even if you're like caught prepared or something like that.
hmm, it's really hard to see.
Hmm.
Oh, 4 chain is good.
It's a very nice response. It forces Villain to send off the main chain. It is going to resolve into a 7 chain. Does Ackley have enough time to respond though? Oh
Not really.
no, needs to get those reds in. Needs to get that red purple in. Just not enough time barely. And like um yeah, yeah, Ackley gets caught by the speed. Villain advances.
Yeah, they both play really fast. I think the harassments get really fast.
Mhm. Will this turn out to be a match where the players just need to step on the gas and keep up with each other, or we'll see.
But it felt like Villain had his key Puyo on, but it actually wasn't.
And that was a pretty good harassment scouted from Villain. Acliv did have a lot of his chain there, but just not enough pieces to set off the trigger or not the pieces to defend. Catching Acliv in an awkward position, and Villain takes yet another point off.
Yeah, already 3-1. I think it's pretty like I wouldn't expect this much uh, from these few points, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, of course. We shall soon see. Knight's still young. There's still harassments to be made, and as volatile as the game Puyo is, there's a lot. There's a lot that can happen within the next 27 minimum games that can happen, and there's probably going to be
Yeah,
a lot more than just that.
yeah.
Okay, but
Oh,
we're
it
seeing.
cuts.
Yeah, okay, we are seeing it. We are seeing a cut, and is Villain ready for it? No, Villain is not. Needs
No.
another red. Okay, it seems like a large part is just that these players just need to keep their like their triggers like much more stable. Need to keep it just like ready, or maybe just like having enough that's ready to send a sizable counter harassment.
Yeah, actually, they try to not have it ready because it needs to always be able to be converted into harassment. Um, and not having the key Puyo is the best way. But sometimes I feel like maybe they should put the key Puyo on, and they don't.
Okay, well, we're seeing full chain coming up from Villain. It is going to resolve into an 8 chain, but we'll just see if Acliv has anything to do with that response. Does have a nice little tail going at the end, but it doesn't seem. Actually, it seems fairly powerful.
Yeah,
It's going to resolve into a 10 chain. Does Villain have anything that they can do in response? No, they do not. Again, they're just missing out on the timing, not having the same response not having the same response time as you probably would expect. Acliv ties it up the set.
yeah, the second was great. The second was great, but there was not enough time.
We'll soon see. Like a lot of this match has just been so far the other player catching each other off guard, and we'll soon see. Will this hit? It kind of does, but Villain has a nasty free chain as response. It is going to swamp Acliv's board quite a bit, and Villain is going to be very quick on the offense. Blues needed, and Acliv does get blues instantly.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Ooh, but
Oh, but he didn't get the blues now.
got the blues then, but get droughted for later. That's just the way how it goes. If if Acliv, if Acliv had just that extra little link, yeah, if Acliv had that like extra little link, there would be like a very good chance that he would have been able to overpower it. But Villain, very quick on the offense, recognizing what to do at the exact moment. Just generally very well played, and this is a very nice transition coming in from Villain.
It's pretty nice, but he doesn't really have a lot. Like the chain isn't really strong, I think, compared to what Acliv is doing right now. We'll see, but Acliv could do like 15 chain. I don't know. This is
well, we'll soon
wow.
see.
This is big.
A 12 chain is usually very strong under normal circumstances, but against Acliv, these aren't normal circumstances, so we'll soon see. This is going to resolve into at least a 12 chain, but how far will this go? It is going to be a 13, and okay, Villain is forced to send off the second chain.
Oh, this is big.
It is a nice power 5, but oh, so much of the garbage just swamps, giving Acliv all the momentum, and Acliv tying up the set yet again.
They are really building in a similar way sometimes, and this is one of these games.
Okay, ooh, Villain does have yellows accessible. It is going to be a 6 chain. Though it does look like this is going to counter, which it does. But Acliv has made like a pretty nice response in tow. But what does Villain have as a response? This is okay.
Yeah, I think this is great.
Yeah,
Big 2 chain with 3 and 4.
Acliv has a nice 5 as a response, though. This is the back and forth that you'd probably want I would probably expect to see from these two players.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, like after just like a little bit of back and forth, both players are just charging their chain strength, just building up that much more.
Yeah, and Villain has more like Puyos on the field, so he wants to try to send small chains. And I didn't see this.
That is not the way how Acliv wanted to resolve that, but was forced to make that move, and that puts him at a very bad disadvantage. That again, that was like unfortunate timing coming from Acliv there. He was ready to make that chain, and that was very, very well played from Acliv, but just didn't have the resources. But just simply didn't have the resources in order to make that back. Again, caught off guard. And if that, Villain takes another point and the lead.
Yeah, and now he has a really cool tail. I like it. I like it a lot. And actually, Acliv can't really access his trigger now, so he will have to send a 5 chain. And I think that Villain saw it, so he will just start his chain.
Is forced to start off main. We'll just see. Will Acliv get caught off guard? Will he get his chain off? Trigger is on. Oh dear. No, again, Acliv is just left without any moves to make.
Yeah, the colors, the order of the colors was wrong. He got very unlucky on this one.
Okay. Just see. Interesting transition coming from Acliv. Cushioning on the blues, but largely focusing to go for a harassment build.
Oh, he's going for a 5 chain, which is great in that situation.
And it forces Villain to start off main chain yet again. Now will Acliv get the punish?
Wow, Villain's tail is Well, it looked really good, but in the end it didn't work.
Yeah, just a star's worth of garbage is not exactly that much to contest with when it comes to a player such as Acliv. Going to respond with a 9 chain, but we shall see how well Villain's chain is going to work. I do believe it's gonna nullify most of that garbage, but oh, one more line of garbage and it would have KO'd. But will Villain is going to make a nice recovery with that, but is still placed around the back foot.
Yeah, it seems complicated now. I don't think he really can do anything, but
All he,
maybe
all,
he will surprise us.
all he can really do is try. And well, we'd love to see the good old college try, but what Acliv has in response with all that space, with all that tailing strength, that 7 chain, there's
Yeah,
not much you can really do, Villain. Acliv gets a point back.
yeah. Acliv played really consistent on this one.
Yeah, as I said, that's the scary thing about these players, just largely their consistency and such. And
Yeah,
uh just like you can throw in like a couple of tricks just to throw them off guard, but more often than not, if you throw something at these players, they're gonna be ready for it.
definitely. That's how I lost.
Well, I say that, and then Villain wasn't ready for that, but I have a feeling that was largely due to a color trap more than anything, not due to bad observation or like sloppy building. Just sometimes the dice is rolled against you. Active building in for a nice little power 2 harassment, and Villain going to just respond with main chain.
Yeah, no, Acliv has to really build fast, and oh, he does. This is really good.
I don't think that's an 8 chain though.
Yeah, it's not enough, but it was close.
Yeah, and a follow up from Villain. Even if that wasn't enough Puyos just to make the top out happen, the follow up will.
Yeah. Right, pretty clean on both sides.
Yes, with the tails, transitions. Neither player looking to commit to anything hugely strong.
Ooh.
Villain's going to start off with a 5 chain, and oh boy,
Wow.
that is quite the 5 chain, Acliv.
Yeah, it was massive.
Okay, Villain has to respond with a 7 chain, but how well does Acliv's tail go? It is also going to be a 7, but that slight bit of power is going to give Acliv the edge. And now Acliv ties up the set yet again. 7-all. Both players may be feeling kind of lucky at this moment, but we shall soon see.
Okay, full chain from Acliv.
Okay, might not be the best move considering in this situation, considering it's only going to be a 10 chain. Meanwhile, Villain does have the blue on column. Oh, wait a second. This.
Ooh,
Ooh, okay.
that's super close. Wow.
Yeah, that cut there kind of actually like put Villain at a little bit of at a space disadvantage. Meanwhile, Acliv mostly in the driver's seat, although given the amount of time that he had to build, this isn't necessarily the chain length that I would expect him to have, only being a 4, but yet it still works out regardless.
Yeah, he sent a really small harassment right before, and Villain was really caught off guard from this. So yeah, it worked out.
It did work out, but it still feels a little bit sloppy coming from or at least from what I expect coming in from Acliv.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it does work. It does work out, and if it gets it at the end of the day, that is. It's just like I just would have expected just like a little bit more oomph, a little bit more power just to seal the deal, you know. But anyway,
Yeah, I know.
uh, but as I said, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter how strong the attack is as long as it does kill. And oh, wait a second. That is a beautiful recovery coming in from Acliv, taking garbage at the very top of the board. Yet this all works out into what I assume to be just like a really nicely constructed tail. Okay, it doesn't work out completely, but it's still an 11 chain, and it does catch Villain completely off guard.
Yeah, Villain was looking for a green yellow, but it took time, and in the end, he had pairs that he didn't know where to place, so it was hard to find a way to send off his chain.
Okay,
Oh,
ooh.
one chain.
Villain not choosing to go for the icebreaker route, instead just choosing to go all in with a power 4 and
Oh,
okay.
Mawashi.
That's okay. If you were in Aqua's position like that, that was possibly the most stressful time you've probably had rotating a singular piece of Puyo, but manages to neutralize and counter most of it. But that might put Acliv a little bit behind. Oh wait, but
Oh, green,
Villain
green,
Chain
green.
does cut. Needs a green,
Oh.
but not the purple following. Yeah, I think that time. That Acliv lost on sending off that chain was critical. Like even though he was able to counter it, that last time wasn't enough for Villain to get the upper hand.
Hmm.
Okay. Power 2 into a free. Meanwhile, Villain just setting off main chain. Acliv is free to do whatever he wants in the driver's seat.
Oh, he needs red though. Oh, he gets them. Oh, yellow. Wow.
Okay.
That's super
Re-extension is
close.
going to pay off. Now let's see how big is this act chain exactly.
Actually, is it?
How?
Yeah,
No. The
it
purple
doesn't
still
work.
wake up. It does, yeah. Okay. Bill ties it up yet again.
もう3分の1が経過しようとしていくのですが、かなり濃い試合を展開しているこの両者2人とも9対9と、いやお互いのやりたいことがブレた瞬間、やはりもう差が開くんではないでしょうかと、そんな感じがねしますね。さあ、アクリが今回綺麗に連鎖尾を組んで火力重視か。さあ、でも一応2ダブもまた見据えた感じですね。
Okay.
Maybe a 2 chain? Oh well, that's a very big 2 chain.
That's a very big power 2 into a free, but Acliv is just going to send off main. All of that is going to come right on back to Villain as he needs to start building up his main chain. Needs yellows, and
oh no, that doesn't work.
No, that cuts into the sandwich or the crosscut, however you want to say it. But at the end of the day, it is a cut chain is not going to be as powerful as a full length. And Acliv is the first one to reach 10 points, but I don't think Villain is lagging too far behind just yet.
Yeah, I really feel this is going like. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, this is a very interesting harassment coming in from Villain's side. It's going to be a 6 chain, but Acliv, does he have any resources? The purples do link. Okay, this is an amazing tail coming in from Acliv's side and swamps Villain's board.
Yeah, there was a misdrop from Villain, and he sent a 2 chain, but he didn't mean it.
It meant the classic chain, the classic power 2. Except, oops, I sent off my entire chain and broke the entire thing.
Yeah, that happened.
happens even to the best of us, as you can firmly see right here.
Oh, maybe a 3 chain? Yeah, 3 double from Villain. Oh,
And it's going to just result into a 5 chain coming from Acliv. Gonna force a response from Villain, and that is going to be a 6 chain. How much is Acliv's gonna be? It is almost going to be an all. It is almost going to be an all clear, but honestly, it would have been so nice for Acliv if he did, because he would have been able to get just a tiny bit of extra momentum. But okay, he's now going in for the backup GTR, but doesn't get enough time in order to set it off.
it's impressive how Acliv got the perfect answer for the villain's harassment, but he actually didn't get the upper hand after that.
Yeah. The building was great there, but unfortunately for him, it just wasn't enough. But we shall see. Ooh, I do like the way how Aclive's chain is forming right here. Does seem to be like look quite a bit cleaner, and this is going to result into a nice 7 chain all clear. Villain just kind of has to explode his chain in the meanwhile, and that is not going to be nearly enough garbage. Acliv taking yet another point on the board.
どうやったとしてもやっぱ黄色消えちゃいますね。6列目で黄色いっても消えてしまうし、真ん中からいったら黄色連鎖が半壊するしみたいな、ちょっとヴィラン側がね難しい展開になってしまいました。さあ、アクリブなんかちょっと怪しくなりましたね。これツールが
Okay, this is interesting coming from Acliv. If not just like a little bit unconventional, but if it still works, it would still work, but okay, yeah. Most of this does seem to work, and it's going to come into that classic little power harassment that he's so good at doing. So actually, no, Villain is doing the same form as I've just noticed. Forced to set it off, and going to be a 10 chain. What does Acliv have in response? This tail is looking quite funky, but correct if I'm wrong, but I think still largely works. Okay, no, the reds don't work, but with that entire exchange, only 3 garbage is being dropped. That is kind of incredible, but I think largely more than the free garbage and the positioning would just largely be like the small amount of time that Acliv would have to get an upper hand with is how he chooses to respond. It looks like he's just going to respond by sending the full chain.
Yeah, and it's really big this time. It was looking like maybe Acliv had the wrong colors and stuff, but in the end he really got the right colors. It became super big in the end.
Okay, but we shall soon see. Villain is going to be an 8 chain, but nah, that's not enough. It's barely not enough. One more link would have done it, but not quite as much. One more link, maybe even just like a little bit of power later in the chain. That may have just been enough, but nah. Acliv kind of just like taking a somewhat firm lead at this point, but again, it's only 3 points. It can go either way still. Classic free chain harass coming in from Acliv. Meanwhile, Villain mostly just forced to send the free chain of his own in response, barely taking any damage.
Yeah, but the remaining Buyos are not really good for Villain, so he's kind of having trouble with this green on column 1 right now.
Ooh, classic 5 chain harassment coming in from Acliv's end. Meanwhile, just like trying to build up the entirety of this chain, and Villain's chain isn't even going to be that long. Acliv chain swamps into a massive power. My goodness. Villain's chain, I do believe, is going to be enough, allowing him to survive, but he's just going to concede anyway. We love just seeing just some big dummy powers in there.
それに対して3連鎖とか4連鎖で飛び込んでしまっている状態のとこ
Just
ろ
having that chain just explode at the
アク
end,
リブがしっかりとね
just right at the very end. Ah, so satisfying.
さあここに飲まれてしまうとね、やはりアクリブのずっと俺のターンになりそうな気がするので、なんとかアクリブ側にもね、そんなんじゃやられねえぞみたいな感じの展開を取りたいですね。さあアクリブ側ちょっと
Acliv building up fairly high
またアグレッシブに大きくいきますし
for the transition. Going to make a cushion on the blues. Meanwhile, Villain is going to have to retaliate with a 7-chain defense as a I do believe that Villain is in like in a pretty good position though to make a response. This is going to be an 8-chain and it is going to counter, but we'll just see how well Villain's chain works. This is going to be quite a little bit of power on the tail. Ooh, Acliv gets the all clear this time, and I think this is actually going to like allow him to. Oh wait, but Villain is very smart and building into a counter build. So Acliv is trying to make that response in tow. Oh, okay, this is a nice little 5-chain. But Acliv just doesn't have the time to respond. Okay, even with the all clear advantage, Villain is able to actually come up on top. It's so well done from him.
まあ、やはりアクリブ側もやばいちょっとこの中盤怪しくなってきたかっていうのはなるので、ああいうのは僕はどんどんやっていいと思うんですよね、本当に。まあ実際のところはこれで一本取れてますし、
Seeing the L-shaped tail coming in from Villain's end. Meanwhile, like both tails, looking relatively clean on both sides. And Villain forced to make a 4-chain harassment, and Acliv just ready to send off main. We'll just see how this goes. Villain is lacking quite a bit of space thanks to Acliv's earlier harassments, so that may cut into his power just quite a bit. But ooh.
Oh well, he was going for the extension with the one more like red and then purple and then red on the first and second column, but he didn't get the colors in time.
That is very unfortunate for Villain. Might have been able to overpower Acliv's chain in that circumstance if that were to happen, but as it stands, just not quite.
アクリブはもういつでもスタンバイからメインまで入っていつでも打てますよと。ただこれアクリブ側2ダブで切っていきました。さあ2ダブ切ったのが強かった。
That 2-chain was really big.
見えてるの赤ハッカーで超でかくいきたかったヴィランだったんですが、まあ、アクリブがね短い2連鎖によってしかもこの2連鎖もやらしい。
And just small harassment at the very top. Acliv is taking yet another point. Again, having like a fairly dominant lead against Villain, all things considered. Ooh, okay.
Oh, wait. How did Villain miss this one?
That is okay. I don't know if that was a smart find from Acliv or just like a bit of a blunder on Villain's end. That all clear is going to at least give Acliv just a little bit more momentum in this matchup. But Villain making actually like quite a quick defense with this. But Villain doesn't get any greens to set off. That might have been good enough. That might have been good enough to completely overpower Acliv. Just had one more green, but still. Seems like Acliv's the one now catching Villain off guard. ぷよぷよはね、そういう心もね、出てしまうという結構闇のゲームなところっていうか、僕はそう思ってるんですけど。はい。Okay, well, how they approach this match going in, this next one going into it, Acliv just standing firm with the nice little 2-chain harassment. Meanwhile, Villain responding with 3, and then Acliv responding with that classic 5-chain.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Thing is, how much will he be able to get out in time? Is able to get to chain. It is a star's worth of garbage. However, this is looking to be like a fairly nice tail, going to resolve into an 8-chain. But what does Villain have in response? Is it going to be enough to power just the last link of an 8-chain? The blues do connect, and I do believe it does. Acliv has nothing. Very well done from Villain. Just like playing that tennis match beautifully.
非常に冷静ですね。やはりそのアクリブ側の大きい太陽手を使わせて、なおかつ、本線打って返されるもセカンドで圏内にまで持っていく。これはね、やはりいい勝ち筋だったんじゃないかと思います。さあ、アクリブサイドは結構座布団引いて、ちょっとだけ安定卓を取りに行ったような動きに見えますね、これは。
Okay, I noticed. Okay, I noticed how the tail is working. So both players are just trying to build up the chain to their best abilities. It's the general game plan of what you've come to expect from these two. And ooh, that's gonna put Villain in just a little bit of an awkward position, forcing him to pop just like a little bit. And Acliv kind of exploding a lot of his chain for it, but no, Villain gets super unlucky with the upcoming pieces.
Yeah, he just needed to green. One green, and it was good, but he didn't get it.
That's the thing. It's just like one piece. Just you need one specific piece, and then you just get it one slot a little bit too late. Bet everything on a single color, and ooh, sometimes it's good to go for the gamble. Sometimes you just need to. But at the end of the day, if you have to bet on luck, it will come up tails sometimes. Ooh, and this is not looking good. Needs to bet on getting a single purple, but there's no place to vault the Puyo. Acliv is just going to be able to steal yet another match from under Villain, and the momentum has very much shifted from being a fairly even game just to being completely in Acliv's favor.
ヴィラン選手はなんとか一本一歩、2-1感覚では
Different styles of going for the GTR's tails and extensions. And I think we're gonna see like I think we're gonna see full chain coming in from Acliv.
Wow.
But Villain isn't actually. Okay, no. I misread what the GTR tail was. No, that is just simply going to be full chain coming in from Villain's side. And Acliv, no blues, no nothing. That isn't even going to be enough garbage to neutralize all of that. Gets a point back.
こういうところでね、一本取って崩していきたいところはありますね。おそらくアクリブ側はもう本当に余裕を持った行動だと思いますので、その余裕を持ってるタイミングで。Nice
little tail coming in from Villain. Meanwhile, Acliv, again, fairly sturdy, fairly standard.
Oh, but now the tail is going to be complicated. I'm not sure how he will deal with this.
Looks like isn't going to deal with it at the moment. Instead, just relying on garbage chaining, which is currently getting like very swamped by just like those light pokes or nothing. It's just enough to disrupt Acliv. With that dwindling space, there's not much that he can do. Villain maybe climb back just like a couple of points. It is very doable.
見えてくる焦りですよね。さあ、クリブこれはどっちだ？左だけど。
Building up some massive tails at this point. Meanwhile, Acliv just sending in a 14 harassment. I'm not exactly sure if that was intentional or accidental at this point in the match, but he's just going to result in the 6 chain, and that GTR is completely blocked off by the purples. Just nothing to really send. Villain.R yet again stealing yet another point very quickly.
Yeah, I feel like he didn't mean to send his chain at first. I mean, Acliv. So maybe he was just trying to go for something risky because it was needed after that.
Who'll make the first move in this match? Okay, Acliv is making it with a extremely strong free chain harassment, forcing Villain to send off main chain. And it is going to be a 7 chain.
That's really good.
And does this? Wait a second. As far as I'm reading this, doesn't work fully. The purples kind of don't. Oh, okay. No. Villain didn't have the complete counter build, so yeah. Acliv just takes the momentum right on back, leading 5 points, 10 points until he wins basically the entire thing.
突き込む隙は全然ありそうですね。ただね、アクリブ側がもう20到達してしまったんで、ここからの1本は非常に重要な1本になってくる気がしますね。ちょっと精神的な問題ですね。さて、でもこれアクリブちょっとなんかこれ L 字型になりましたね、すごい。見にくい形で。フォアが伸びなくはないですけども、みたいなところで中盤戦はいかがなさいますか、ね、
Okay. Another player opting to go for harassments at just this right moment, just knowing when to strike. Little 2-chain harassment. It is going to hit, but it's not going to deal a lot of damage. 4-chain though, Acliv's board was actually in a very precarious spot. And just that small little chain was enough to get Acliv right on out of there. Seeing it the same GTR pattern, so yet again, like, who will see go first? We'll see like another classic 5-chain harassment coming in from Acliv, or will one of the players just like try to shake things up at this point? Both players' mental games seem to be quite sound with each other. And okay, that's a nice retaliation. It still is going to hit just a slight bit, but at the end of the day, not much there either. Okay. Big chain explosion coming in from Acliv's side, although this does leave his board in a very precarious spot. I don't really see how he was going to be able to recover that, really. Villain climbing back and clawing away at those points like very steadily. Acliv was leading by a huge margin, but now not looking so big anymore.
Oh, I love the tail from Villain right now.
That nice little stairs tail. It is looking to be quite nice so far, and it's not going to be full chain, but it is going to be a nice 5. Are we going to see Acliv responding? Yes, we are, and it's going to be a 4-chain only. It's going to, well, it doesn't put Acliv in critical condition, but it probably does put him just like a little bit behind. Not exactly a lot of garbage sent to Villain's side.
Yeah, but the recovery is pretty good on Acliv's side. So yeah, now he can just send his full chain, and it should work out because Villain doesn't have a lot of resources left.
We'll see. That tail that you praised so much earlier isn't exactly working out. Probably as how Villain would like it to. Acliv gets another. I find it interesting that like despite like Acliv's board being better positionally, despite having like a lot more garbage and a few less resources there, but it's just largely. But I think like the to be more specific, like workable resources would be kind of just like needed. Acliv just being extremely efficient with how he's placing like every single Puyo and just like carefully considering how they'll just kind of like play into like the overall chain. It's a thing of beauty. Ooh, okay. Villain is forced to send off full chain. This is going to be a power 5 into 6, but where is Acliv's trigger? Probably needs it to be in the yellows.
It was yellows, but he didn't get any in like 6 pairs, so he couldn't send it.
Okay, Villain stealing that point right on back, and in a very timely fashion as well.
アクリブ選手の貯金もなくなってきたところで、結構ヴィラン側もね、やっぱ落ち着いてるというか、なんか安定感が出てきましたね、本当に。さあ、アクリブの中盤に慣れてきたか、もう俺には効かないと。さあ、もう
Okay, small little 2-chain coming in. Gonna retaliate with a 3, and it's not gonna do that much damage to Acliv's board. chain very much still accessible, and Acliv still is like spending like a little bit of time to use on resources. Meanwhile, Villain's chain has to be sent on the full, and Acliv is just free to make any extension that he pleases. Trigger on
Oh,
green.
wow.
And okay, I think I see that tail working out quite nicely on Acliv's side. Purple into the blues. That is going to make a nice little tail. And ooh, okay, Villain is able to neutralize most of it, but is at a space and a little bit of a resource disadvantage. Acliv could use a purple coming or not. Okay, maybe I'm just reading it completely wrong, but now I don't really see the way how Acliv's chain is supposed to work.
I don't think it's working. It's not working at all. Oh no.
It is going to explode on the
Acliv.
4, and yeah, okay. No, I would have expected again, like Acliv to be more powerful on the follow-up, but I don't know if he messed something up with there or something like that. But that seems like an uncharacteristic blunder on Acliv's end. Like I don't like. Usually I'm able to like praise like the way how like Acliv is able to like press an advantage or stuff like that, but that just seemed like a little. Yeah, just a little uncharacteristic of him. But again, we'll see. Still time to make up for it. He is leading the set after all, and Power 2 Chain is going to be a very nice defense coming in from that 3. Oh, okay. Acliv just taking the route just to completely swamp Villain's board, but now Villain full chain off. And how will this work actually? I think the blues do not connect, but the yellows do. It is going to be an 11 chain. How big is Acliv's? As I can see.
Oh.
Ooh, the reds do connect, and it is going to be yet another 11, but Villain is able to get like a slight response, but Acliv's chain just powerful enough. However, Acliv still needs to deal the finishing blow. This is only going to result into a 3 chain, I think. Villain might have the time to respond. Just like some unfortunate little Puyo drops could just swing the match entirely in Villain's favor. However, a 4 chain is going to make a counterattacking that much there, but Villain doing a very nice job trying to recover from everything. Okay, but this is a nice little extension coming from Acliv. Main chain game is back online. Acliv, knowing the win condition is to get this main chain off and get it as powerful as possible, needs to recognize like the positional advantage. And now Villain, so much garbage on the board, so many resources, and not enough space to actually like even get a trigger off. Oh, this might be really good coming in from Villain as like a little bit of a defense, but dealing with a crown of that garbage at this late in the game, that's a bit rough, buddy.
Yeah, Acliv got 100,000 points there, so
just a casual one after the initial main chain.
yeah.
Margin time definitely did have something to do with it, but even still, like getting a chain that strong that late in the game, terrifying. Okay, this is a nice looking 4-chain harassment coming in from Villain's side. Does Acliv have a response? Yes, in fact, he's gonna send one of his old classic 5 chains off. And Villain, nothing in response. A relatively easy win from Acliv. I don't think you can get an easy win against Villain, but relative to what you have to do to take down these players, I I could probably use the term relatively here, can't I?
Yeah, you can. It's okay.
もしてるようじゃ先にゴールされてしまうので、どこかで連勝していきたい。さあ、3連鎖を入れていきますで、
Strong little free chain coming in from Acliv's side. And a pretty good free chain coming in from Villain's side. Gonna swamp a little bit, but that is going to force yet another free chain off, but that is going to force Acliv's main chain off, and we'll soon see how this chain battle will go. Villain very much looking to get as much power as it possibly can in the last two columns. It is going to be a star's worth of garbage, and that power 5 not going to counter nearly enough.
Oh, the second is great.
Yeah, even as a response, even that was going to counter, that is such a beautiful follow from Acliv.
アクリブがまたしてもまた差を広げ5本差と。
Acliv further extending his lead.
さあ GTR と僕も今つばというか飲んで落ち着いて、さあ
Ooh, I'm interested to see just how like Villain's extension route is going to be here, because it looks fairly basic, but it's also like fairly clean. But is able to convert it nicely into a harassment, and Acliv just left with no resources on the board.
来ないのはしょうがないではあるんですけど、やっぱこういう仕掛けをしないとね、相手のツモの悪いところわからないので、そう。この思い切った一手を取ったヴィランセ素晴らしいですね。
Villain very much fighting to just stay in the game and keeping at it. Like, but if Acliv keep on getting points, there won't be much of a match to actually go back to. Like, the pressure is going to start to mount on as he needs to like get back these games and has to fight back. 10 more until Villain is able to get it, but only 6 for Acliv. This is still very doable, but against a player like Acliv, it's nothing short of terrifying.
打ってしまうと確実に、アクリブ本線でやられてしまうので、一旦耐えですね。耐えない。さあ、茨が打てないが、とりあえず3連鎖にしていくと。さあ、これは打たされましたね。打たされたというよりかは、まあ、打ったといったところかな、これは。
Okay. Acliv's chain is going to unfortunately cut into a 6 chain. Villain, meanwhile, left with his full chain, and this is looking fairly nasty, all things considered. Wait, and even the greens connect. Wow. You'll soon see, this is actually like a very good backup chain coming in from Acliv. The purples, unfortunately, for him do not connect. But what does Villain have in response? This is a 4 chain, but it's not going to be enough to counter, and Acliv quick on the follow-up. Those last few remaining resources may turn out to be Acliv saving grace, and now 5 points until Acliv is winning the entire thing. Villain needs to take 2 points for every one for one now if Villain is going to take this match from Acliv, but we shall see how this will end up.
さあ20対25。さあ紫が多いので1回お互い単発して0エクイエムということでお互い消した数が同じ紫。さあアクリブ側がちょっとどうする？これは仕掛けるか。
They kind of like cut that free chain short for a just for a little bit of speed, but ooh, okay. Power free, and that is going to mess quite a bit with Acliv's board, but not too much so that it's irrecoverable. In fact, this actually may look fairly doable coming in from Acliv's side, provided if he's able to get the pieces, which kind of he does. But it's still not looking the best, as he's being swamped by his own Puyos more than Villain's garbage, and Villain getting yet a point back that he so desperately needs.
さあここからは2-1でもちょっと苦しくはなってきてますので、もう一本欲しいです。さあ21対25。さあお互いのねちょっと乱戦が火吹いているので本当。さあヴィランが形かなり綺麗ですね。これはもうさあ2ダブを打ってくるさ紫が。
Strong power 2 coming in from Acliv, but this is going to be a very strong power free to contest with. No, not too much actually. still very workable. And if Acliv gets just gets this harassment off, his board is more or less just extremely clean. And okay, Villain sends off a free chain, but this 4 is actually going to be quite a lot of damage to contest with a 2. Wait, no, that doesn't work out into a 2 chain. But now Villain on the back foot, Acliv taking more resources, and okay. This isn't looking good for Villain. If they trade games, Acliv with just his already built momentum is going to be able to take the match. But I do really like the tail come in from Villain. At the moment, Acliv though, strong response, forced to send up. Wait. Okay. I looked away for just a second, and all of a sudden, Acliv's main chain was off. Very good scouting coming in from Acliv's side, just taking like the forward momentum. Villain.R needs to desperately keep trying to keep in the game, but it just like needs. But what will work at this point? Aggressive offense, playing defensively and playing very reactively. At this point, Acliv looks very much to be in the driver's seats. Just like controlling all the momentum. Just controlling all the momentum of the match. Like Acliv is just like turning out to be just like a little bit more aggressive. Like these harassments are fairly bold, fairly quick, and usually I expect Villain to be the one just to like do these like aggressive maneuvers, but Villain's being forced to like make a lot of like defensive calls, although this one is a very nice free chain response, but it doesn't actually hurt Acliv all that much. In fact, ooh, wait, that might not. Is that good for? No, that isn't actually. No, needed like those pieces back on column 1 for Acliv in order to like get back to main chain. But if he was able to do so, that would have been yet another game going towards Acliv. But not the right pieces, or for one reason or another, Villain.R able to take yet another game. But again, trading games isn't really an option for Villain at this point. Just needs to get some momentum right on back. Is looking extremely clean coming in from Acliv. Small pokes coming in here and there. Once a blue happens, wait, what is this extension route? Where was it even supposed to be an extension route? I think it's just like going in for harassment. Oh wait, that swamps Villain right off there, catches Villain off guard and takes a point right then and there. Just amazing scouting, or just like amazing just amazing awareness coming in from Acliv's end, being able to take just being able to take that hit right there and there. This is looking really dire. Like Villain does need a change of pace. Just needs to provoke Acliv to do something. Just something, anything that'll help. Okay. Well, something that'll help, it probably would be like a little bit of a 4 chain coming in right now, but Acliv responding with that classic 5 chain and forcing Villain off into main. It is a nice 8 chain. We'll say that much, but Acliv's chain is looking really good, especially on that tail. That's looking to be a 9, but how much is this? It's only going to be a 4 chain, and Acliv now on match points is 8 games in a row. For Villain, even doable at this point. This is one of the longest running international Puyo players to be considered the best out of Japan versus one of the new top level threats in there. And will Acliv just like prove right here and now that that sometimes you just need to respect your elders when it comes to the Puyo scene. But Acliv looking to end it right then and there. He's only going to be... Oh, wait, no. I am miscalculating that. That is a really nice and efficient 5 chain to add in response, but... There's, Acliv just too far on the back foot, trying to desperately survive, not conceding yet. That is 1 game down out of 8 for Villain. 7 left.
どっからでもやりますぜみたいな。
But yeah, Acliv,
嫌ですね、この
uh,
仕掛けてる時に
the biggest contender for being one of the best outside of Japan, fighting against the player that has been performing the best out of Japan very recently, with every single one of their top level tournament placings being the best out of the bunch. But Acliv still showing Villain of being or 3. All he really needs to do now is just close it off. Here is going to be a massive 4-chain. It is going to force Villain off into a main chain, which is very clean. But, okay, a little bit presumptuous, maybe a little bit of a mistake on Acliv's end. Villain is just going to be able to like make that chain. It's a power 11, and Acliv just has to concede that. Maybe the nerfs are getting to Acliv with it being just like this with it just being this close to the end of the match, but you cannot let your nerves give in just now. You need to make that final push. But so far, his tail looking quite nice from Acliv's side, and on Villain's also looking very nice on either end. Both these players so strong with their tails.
見えますね、これは。今度は本戦ぶっ破するぞと。これは一旦3連鎖打ちきまして、3連鎖で一旦
Small little harassments aren't going to get Villain this time, forcing him into making like a little 4-chain as a harassment. And that is going to land and hit Acliv. Villain.R getting yet another game in a row. 5 in a row still is nothing to scoff at, but that is 3 out of 8.
消えていない魂が1本取れば取るほど、やはり今見てる視聴者もあれもしかしてこれっていう展開に期待をしてさせていただけるのではないでしょうかと。さあアクリブ2連鎖だが、この2連鎖は致命傷にはならないですね。まあ、受けても全然いい2連鎖ですね。さあアクリブでもこれちょっと苦しいな。なんか多分アクリブ本戦狙ってますけど。
So far, it seems to be like a very funky tail on Acliv's end, but now kind of just setting main chain chain off might actually be like a little bit weak at this point, given Villain all the time in the world to build, and Villain kind of just like recognizing that opportunity is just going to flat out take it. A moon and a star, that is not actually a lot when it comes to this level of play, and we're gonna see that power 11 coming in, and Acliv losing yet another point. You cannot be fumbling at this point of the match. Villain halfway there to making that 8-point comeback. Is this doable?
さあ見えてきましたよ、背中が。あなたの背中もう見えてますけど、はい。さあ必死でね逃げていくんですけど、でも逃げてるだけじゃ追いつかれるんですけどね、このゲームはといったところで、アクリブ側がなんとかもういいよ、どんな一本でもいいよ、いいんです。勝ちなんです。
Little free chain harassment, but it does look like Acliv is ready with a power 2 as a response, and then maybe sending yet another counter harassment right back at Villain. Both players just trading blows, not really fully committing to main chain just yet, as they both know where that situation kind of just like leads them, giving the other player another opportunity to just like overpower and extend. Just a few more unlucky Puyos, and that may be curtains for Villain. Oh wait, that small little harassment is going to hit, and Acliv is going to take. He does not fumble it, and your winner here is Acliv, who is yet to be defeated in this part of the bracket. Extremely well done going to Acliv. But with that, yeah, Acliv yet to be defeated. Acliv yet to be defeated in this part of the bracket, with his only opponent left being our very own Hiku. who I'm sure at this very moment is just like seeing the way how the matches turned out, and is off to prepare against Acliv.
Yeah, I can feel the pressure.
No, yeah, both players as we've seen is just like such fundamentally strong Puyo players. As far as things go, like being able to make like those like really strong harassment, being able to like, I mean, like I wouldn't say there's anything like too overly crazy about both of their playstyles. Like nothing wild with the chaining forms that they do, but it's largely just like how they fundamentally work. Like building like a strong base, being able to back it up, follow it up, having that like good power and extension, just like to and just make it and just have it be like so consistent, having like all of those individual resources just like on hand, making good use of them, chaining on the back foot. It's just all like very good stuff that we love. It's just all very good stuff that we do love to see when these players fighting against each other. And it's just yeah, just really good to see like two super fundamentally strong players just like play against each other. And and yeah, so with that, I do believe like with Acliv, uh uh he is very much in position to probably just like take the top flight international league bracket, unless if he could just like put up so uh are you up to the challenge?
I'll try to. I mean, I don't really know how to beat someone who's that consistent. But last time we played, actually, I won. But yeah, maybe it was just a small match, so I don't know if he was completely serious. Uh, maybe I can beat him with my chains if they are great enough.
Perhaps.
Um,
I think it's just like good to just keep like a firm like just like a keep like a firm mental game, just like and just play the best you can and just seeing what you can do. Like when I played against Acliv once, the end result looked so good, so good for me. But one time when I came across the most competitive game of them all, Puyo Champions ranked. uh, I managed to actually beat him in a first to two. So I don't know. Anything could happen.
ooh,
If I could beat him in a first to two, you could probably like do a couple of things, but easier. But
you,
it is easier said than done. Yes.
you should have joined the league. You would
We'll
have
see. But
won.
let's just say I'm fairly comfortable with casting this as it is. Fairly comfortable here, but it is flattering. It is flattering.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Thank you. But still, this isn't about me right now. We still have a couple. We still have a couple of matches. We still have a couple of matches coming up. Like the next match that we'll get will just be in a few days' time with Villain.R against DDR Dan. So we'll just see how explosive DDR Dan's playstyle will just match up against Villain, being one of the players that can really leave a mark on some of the other top players, like no matter like what the skill difference being. So we'll just love to see it. And following that, well, and following that, we're just gonna see Yoshi's match, and then finally, we'll just see if you. And then finally, the one after that, well, you have a little bit of time. You have a little bit of time to prepare once that match goes live. Um, but at this point, you are probably the only like your only hope or something like that of or actually no, wait Dan actually might still be there, so I guess it's like I guess it's a fight just to see between the two players, like who might be able to like get it down, and it may end up being wait, did Dan and Echo play? Wait, no. They okay. Never mind. Never mind. They did play. Is it a race for is it a race for second? Is it, or like will these players actually like tie up for fourth? I'm just like counting and reading the table wrong. Excuse me there, but
Well, actually, the first two players of this league is going to the Master League. So it's like the leagues where all the A-class winners go, and it's going to be tough matches, but I think we all really want to go there. So maybe Villain still has a chance to join it. But most likely it will be Acliv and Yoshi. We'll see.
well, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Sorry, I was just like reading the. I was just reading the charts like backwards and such. But no, yeah, Yoshi very much in position, but very much in position. But depending on how well they do against Dan, well, we shall soon see if he's able to steal it from Yoshi's eyes. But anyway, I guess with that we are just about done for this match today. However, there is
However,
yeah, there is one more thing that here at Ascension that we have to show. And there is a special announcement. So I guess just take it away.
Eh bien bonjour à toutes et à tous, j'espère que vous allez bien. Bienvenue dans ce stream du donjon numéro 2, incroyable. La grosse soirée qui s'annonce, la 3ème édition du donjon, le donjon. Bonjour à toutes et à tous, j'espère que vous allez bien. Bienvenue dans cette magnifique soirée du donjon.
Bonsoir tout le monde.
bonsoir.
Bienvenue donc pour cette 6ème édition du donjon.
J'espère que dans le chat vous allez bien pour cette 8ème édition du donjon. Place sous le film de la discothèque, vous l'aurez compris.
Hop là, et bonsoir à tous, j'espère que vous allez bien dans cette soirée du donjon.
Okay,
Wow.
I was actually not briefed about this beforehand, but okay, I'm actually kind of excited. I'm actually kind of excited for this. If you guys are unfamiliar with Les Donjons, it is like just a Friday think it's similar to just like a couple of exhibition matches being played, but a large part it's just like a lot of but we can just see like anywhere from just like these like very competitive sets to things that are just like very stupid when it comes to
Well,
Puyo.
well, actually, what we were talking about is Le Ring, which is pretty different from Le
wait. Okay, maybe I got it mixed up there. Whoopsie.
It's okay, don't worry. The dojo is like tournaments, but not with double eliminations. It's like you get into pools, and then there's another pool, round 2. Then you just it's kind of like the idea behind the Le Donjon is that you really play a lot against a lot of people around your level, and this time it used to be on Puyo Versus, but this time it will come back, but on Puyo Puyo Champions. and it's a monthly event, so you can expect it to come again and again each month.
Okay. Okay. In which case, it's just like yet another tournament league series just to like simply play out, get a little bit of Puyo practice, get a little bit of Puyo practice in there, and just like having just a bit of fun with a couple of tournaments, and just more events to look forward to.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can end the thing, the stream.
Yeah. With that, with that announcement, like, do look forward to it. Oh yeah, yeah. Do look forward to like the future events do look forward to the future events coming along. Like the future TCL International League matches, and also like perhaps like maybe join in Les Donjons. And simply put, just like hope you guys all have a nice night of the day. Keep playing Puyo, keep practicing, and love to see you around. So thank you guys for watching, and I guess we'll all catch you later.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah, see you soon.
See you soon, guys.